You see that? You see us on there?
Yep.
Push that button. See the recording light on?
Yep.
Is it on?
Yep.
It's working, right?
working.
Right now. All right, here we go.
Yep.
Hey, welcome. This is Chaplain Chat. Welcome to Chaplain Chat, Chuck.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, hey man,
All
we are at the ManAlive conference, January 24th. You're our speaker, dude.
Scary thought, isn't
Yeah, and Chuck, this is his table. Kind of scan the table for a minute, and Chuck, I'm just meeting you now, but you're gonna do your own bio. I can't do all that famous stuff that he did up there.
Bios are overrated.
Yeah, who are you, man?
Okay.
Why are you?
I'm a blood-bought child of the living God. Okay. I'm husband, father, grandfather.
Those are the important things, huh?
It's all the things that matter.
Okay. Okay. In the world, in the eyes world, why are you in? I mean, what do you do? How's God been using?
God allows me to lead a ministry called A Chosen Generation. So we work with churches primarily, a lot of men's conferences and
Like
leaders.
this.
Like
Yeah.
this, on the whole intergenerational, why we need it, and strategies and resources for developing an intergenerational culture. Because when God says family, He actually means family. And so that when you look at Ephesians, He says that, we're God's family because we have the same Father. And when you look at families, we do things together. And have grandchildren, children, and that. And when we come together, we function as a family. And in a family, everybody gets to serve and be served.
Wow.
Everybody's got a role in this thing.
We do, don't
and,
we?
And in our house, there's no children's table. So we all eat at the same table and have from the time the kids, the high chairs are being held, but they're there. I tell people, if you have people to your house and you put kids in another room, or at another table, they're missing out. If anything, my wife and I will go to another table if we're overflowing, because I want them to meet the people that matter.
Wow.
It helps them grow. So in intergenerational, every generation has value. Every generation gets to serve and be served. Every generation has a seat at the table. That's what we do.
If I were really a really good interviewer, I would have read this book, and I would have said, "Oh, I read your book here. I didn't even know you had a book."
Fake it.
All right, this is one of the books that
Just
Chuck
fake it.
has written. It's called Men of Honor, Women of Virtue.
Yeah.
Wow. And this, you see that book? Get it on there. This is your book. Tell us, what is this book about? Well, the title says it, but tell us.
Obviously, it's about establishing rites of passage in our local churches and in our families. The need for our young people to be blessed, to be affirmed, to be recognized at this transition from childhood to adulthood. Because we can't expect young people to have an adulthood faith when we still treat them as children. So if we want them to be adults and to walk with spiritual maturity and spiritually maturing adults, then we have to recognize them as adults from God's eyes. So we help separate the ideas, because what we do with most kids in our churches is we expect them to be mature, then we'll declare them to be adults. God says He declares them to be adults. Our job is to help them become mature.
Oh my gosh.
So we've just got it reversed.
We've got it reversed.
Absolutely.
And when at first I thought this was just for guys.
No.
But then all of a sudden I'm going, oh no, it's women too.
No. It is the need for the churches, led by our pastors, to do rites of passage for both our sons and daughters together in the community body of believers, or as God says, the ecclesia, the followers of Christ together.
Yeah. Oh, this.
Okay.
Hey Chuck, this is great. If people want to know more about who in the heck you are, how can we find out?
www.standard achosengeneration.org. achosengeneration.org.
And I'm going to put this on there, and I'll get information
Yeah.
so we can do that. And,
Yeah.
Well, Chuck, is there any, gosh darn, anything you want to add to Chaplain Chat? I mean, this is great.
No, one is I'm very grateful that you're here, because when you look at the issue of the chaplaincies in our jails and in our prisons, one of the great needs there is the Father's blessing. When you look at this and what's lacking in those men's lives, it's generally not the mother. Several years ago, Day Springs offered cards to the prisons for Mother's Day, and they had over 95% of the prisoners take cards to send to their mothers.
Wow.
And then they turned around and thought, this is a great deal, so what we'll do is we'll do this on Father's Day. They had less than 5% of the guys request cards for their dads. So the whole father issue in the vacuum there has led a lot of the guys to the life that they have. And so one of the things that you can do in that chaplaincy is the whole father's blessing, that, when God says there are not many fathers, that this idea of having the spiritual fathers in the lives, and for them to be blessed as men, which many of them never have. And so to realize that many times is just a turning point in their lives. So I love having you at these kinds of conferences, because you have the opportunity here to glean, pull other men in and into the ministry. So it's just it's a huge thing. If we can turn that around, that's a major step.
I wasn't expecting a sermon of the chaplain. What is this? No, thank you.
Yeah.
No,
But
thank
what you do is very, very important. Very important.
Okay, you've been hearing me do this. You remember have you heard me do the wrap up?
A little bit. Go ahead and wrap this up.
All right.
So, John, tell us about this. And what do you do and wrap this thing up, partner?
All right, here's what we do. I'm going to say I want to thank you guys for watching. Chuck,
Yeah.
I'm going to say I thank you for being on. In a minute, you just say Chaplain Chap. All right, just not yet,
Chaplain?
not yet,
Not yet. Okay,
Here we do it.
All
Are you
right.
ready?
I'm ready.
Hey guys, I want to thank you for watching. And Chuck, it really is a joy to get to know you. And I want to thank you for being on.
Chaplain Chat.
Yeah!
Thanks for being here. Bye now. All right.